McCain's commentary is getting dangerous, and I don't believe her apology, and I really think she needs to address her rhetoric that she did about Asian Americans, about Asia and period, about last year on The View, because her rhetoric started on The View, and posting a Twitter apology is not going to do it because that's a lower medium than television. And so we need to hear it from her mouth on air. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you do subscribe and you click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Please do subscribe and please do click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Also, I ask icebreaker questions and I just want to know, how are you guys doing in this pandemic? If you're doing well. You guys, I actually woke up early today. I didn't oversleep. I got me my little iced coffee here. Don't want to mess up my laptop. And I got me little hash browns here. So I feel good. Patreon.com/JOA. I do sincerely appreciate the support for those. I got 26 patrons. I'm trying to get 500. I'd appreciate it if I'm worthy of $5 a month from you as a viewer. That sincerely really does come from the heart. I'll be doing giveaways, giving away money. So your $5 is going to be potentially be given back to you by tenfold. So the giveaway is going to be like $100. I want you guys to watch Tiffany Cross. She has a show on the Cross Connection. I'm going to let you guys know more about her after this clip, and I'm going to come back with some more.
This morning, I'd like to have a quick conversation about identity politics and a princess called Meghan. Nope, not that Meghan. Ah, yes, this one, Meghan McCain. McCain decided to chide Senators Tammy Duckworth and Mazie Hirono, who expressed their frustration over the Biden administration's shortage of senior Asian Americans. They initially said they would no longer support many of President Biden's nominees before backing off after receiving assurances from the Biden administration that it would elevate Asian American voices. In response, McCain, whose talent, as far as I can tell, is finding great black hairstylists and benefiting from nepotism, had this to say.
We've only had one Asian American co-host this show. So does that mean that one of us should be leaving at some point because there's not enough representation? We're talking about, is identity politics more important than qualifications of a job?
Yes, one of you should definitely lose your job. I'll give you 2 guesses, but you'll only need 1. So first, not sure if you guys know this or not because she's really shy about bringing it up, but Meghan happens to be the daughter of the late Republican Senator John McCain, but don't tell anyone because obviously she'd never want to bring that up every 5 minutes in lieu of having actual intellectual exchange.
Father's my father. 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 My father.
But yes, let's talk identity politics. Feminist writer Barbara Smith was among the 3 women who coined the term identity politics, and the original intent of the phrase was articulating black women's struggle at the nexus of race, gender, and class oppressions. But just like with hairstyles, Meghan, we've watched you take it, twist it, braid it, and lock it so it benefits the warped presentation of your own clumsy and ill-informed thoughts. Now, name me any group that does not bring their identity into the ballot box. When MAGA-donning Trump supporters showed up in droves, how often did we hear the term white economic anxiety? And note how white voters are always given cute little nicknames like Joe the Plumber or soccer moms or NASCAR dads. All of that, Meghan, is identity politics. And when it came to every other voting bloc, we were simply identified by our race, as if these cute little colloquialisms couldn't be applicable to the rising majority of America. Now, let's address this preposterous notion that somehow being a woman of color suggests that you aren't qualified. I actually understand why you may feel this way. Perhaps you assume that a person's ethnic identity may afford them some advantage. It's called projection, when one unconsciously ascribes traits that you don't like about yourself and attribute them to someone else, like, I don't know, if my only talent was who I was related to, I may assume that everyone else had some similar unfair advantage, you know? But try being an ally instead of an adversary, because just so you know, In 2020, over 11 million Asian American Pacific Islanders were eligible voters, and those who did cast ballots played a huge role in electing President Biden. So the same way spoiled little gun-toting faux Christian narcissists get to make demands of their chosen politicians, so too do those of us who helped pave the way for this administration. The latest data we could get our hands on show that Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are barely 3% of the broadcast media workforce, yet they are the fastest growing demographic in this country and represent nearly 6% of the population. Everyone deserves to see themselves reflected in this space. And as someone who grew up yearning to see my lived experience reflected back to me, and then had to crawl, claw, and fight at every turn to take up space in broadcast media, I simply ask, how dare you? From now on, I hope you speak less and listen more, and take a little time to enjoy this view.
So Tiffany Cross is really a smart woman, and I do advise you guys to watch her show. It's every Saturday on MSNBC. It's called The Cross Connection. Also follow her on Twitter. Just follow her MSNBC. Follow her on Twitter. Let her know that JOA sent you. Tiffany Cross is her name on Twitter as well. And, I actually wanted to interview her like way before she got her talk show, way before I knew she was going to get her talk show. And, her team actually wrote back to me and stuff like that, because she's with a different team at the moment. But, I really didn't follow up on that. But I knew this woman has talent because she was on The View. And when I saw her on The View, that made me wanted to see if I can have her on, because she respectfully, stepped up to Whoopi during a disagreement that they had on The View. And so that really made her, look really, really like, okay, this woman got some bones for television. Because, a lot of people, they're scared of Whoopi, especially the co-hosts on the show. They don't challenge her. I understand she's a legend and Whoopi's a nice woman out here behind the scenes. But sometimes she's wrong and people need to call her out on it. And the hosts really don't challenge her. The only host that I know that really challenged her was Rosie O'Donnell. They didn't get along. And Jared Iabila. And there was rumors that her and Whoopi didn't get along either. So, this is how it is on talk shows. You have that one main big person, that one main big bear, wolf, whatever you want to call it, that people are scared of. The talk was with Julie Chen, and Whoopi is with The View. All right, so we talk about race a lot on this channel, and I did have a subscriber. His name is Greg. He's a fan, a friend, somebody that watches my channel as well. And I wanted to make an apology because I called Julie Chen, Caucasian Julie Chen, and I only did that because she changed her look to basically to basically succumb herself, to sell her soul to white media. Okay, because y'all know. It's still a challenge if you're a person of color, or, if you're African American and you're trying to get into TV. And this is also linked to what this video is about, race. And so I for one, want to apologize for calling her Caucasian Julie Chen, because that does set a negative tone to people who are in the Caucasian race. I myself, I am considered to be Caucasian. I fall in line within that group, according to history books. But we all know, come on now, that there are certain people that are seen as less Caucasian as other people. So I just perpetually self-identify as a person of color. I'm Middle Eastern. Not far from where Jesus was born, where my family's from. So the fact that I am perpetuated to be racially profiled and had to deal with things because of where I come from, it's kind of ironic and it's kind of hypocritical, because apparently, a lot of these people, they love Jesus, right? So why am I sent, full of hatred from white people? I don't know. But so I do want to apologize. So her name is not Caucasian Julie Chen anymore. I would be calling her Eyelid Julie. Okay. So, but Tiffany Cross, I love you so much for talking about this. I know I kind of came for you because I felt some type of way. I sent 2 videos in. She does this little segment thing. You can send a video in and hashtag Cross Connection, and she'll put you on air. But I'm glad that someone of color, I'm glad an African-American woman, a smart woman as well, talked about the situation, because I'm tired of her. Y'all don't understand how dangerous this woman is. Like, her husband is feeding her talking points. Her husband is full of baggage, being a plagiarist, being fired for plagiarism, working for a Washington Post, which is seen as a high credible outlet to send out information in the news. He had a labor violation for sending some type of tweet that I covered on, saying that he was a joke. So now you're a comedian for threatening your employees. His father as well has skeletons in his closet. And so he's on Fox News now, and he's saying horrible things, about Meghan McCain's, literally, quote unquote, uncle, a man that knew Meghan McCain all her life, Joe Biden. And I know I say things about Joe Biden, but I can do that. I can because, this is different. This is a man who took Meghan McCain under his wing on national television and comforted her because his son had the same situation, the same condition, stage 4 cancer, glioblastoma, as Meghan McCain's father. And they both passed away. And here you have Ben Domenech, Meghan McCain's husband, going on air, calling Joe Biden senile, when literally, this is a person that's a close member of the McCain family. This is a person that Cindy McCain faced repercussions from her party because she voted for country over party. This is a woman, Cindy McCain, who is very close to Joe Biden. She didn't sell her morals and principles like Ben Domenech and Meghan McCain do. And she said, I'm voting for Biden. This is a woman who voted a Democrat for the second time within, her 60-something years of life. And here you have her brother-in-law, here you have her son-in-law on Fox News touting hate towards this man. And you have a woman who touts hate towards this man as well. And so, it just doesn't make sense. I have no personal connection to him. And if I did, I separate it. But it's not what you say is how you say it. And so it's different. You can't do that. You can't go on Fox News and call the man senile when he literally comforted your wife on television. That's just that's evil. So her rhetoric on The View is dangerous. It's fed by her husband. She's not smart in politics. She's very knowledgeable when it comes to housewives. I give her that. And so if she doesn't face some type of repercussion for this, or The View does not acknowledge this publicly, then something's going to happen to The View overall, because it's slowly adding up with other talk show hosts talking about this. John Oliver, now Tiffany Cross. I've been doing this, but I'm only on YouTube. There's only so much I can say. This needs to be mainstream. Okay, so this girl can learn, just because you are the daughter of a powerful man, that you can still suffer the consequences. Don't treat her as if she's Donald Trump. Let her know that this stuff can happen. You can lose your throne just how Donald Trump lost his throne in the White House. Okay, and that's all I have to say. All right, so. Appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate your support on Patreon as well. .com/JOAJOA. And I'll see you guys later. Deuces. Yeah.